So you were talking about how you found the
Yeah,
lot.
lot.
Okay.
And there were three requirements that I had in my mind. One, it had to face south-southwest because we found that in our house on Lakewood Drive, the sun was just at the right position in the front of the house, melt the snow off the sidewalk. The second was it had to be on a bus line because we had four children and mom needed help during the day so that Almeda could get to the house. And what was the third one? I can't even think of it. Oh, it had a slope off the back.
For you to sleigh, right?
So it could have so we could have a daylight basement. That was important.
Also, so the children insisted on having the hill they had at Lightfoot Drive so they can do this, use their sleds.
Okay.
That was important.
And this house, this lot had that,
Yeah.
those requirements. So we talked to a builder who we thought initially was going to show us a lot of plans. Where he said, no, you have to find your own plan. You tell me what you want, the layout. Anyway, I did spend a lot of Saturdays at the Pratt Library downtown when I used to go to work and look at the layouts on the Better Homes and Gardens magazines. Get certain requirements that we had to have. We knew how many bathrooms we wanted to have, etc. We wanted to have
Laundry chute. We had to build the whole house around that laundry chute.
Yeah. Also, that our private bedroom would be on the far end, which would be the quiet end of the house.
Okay.
This end, which would be where the downstairs where the rec room is here, near the garage where your kids were growing up. You'd be going in and out with your cars, etc., or you're entertaining friends. Be there. So those were certain things we thought about. I'm trying to think what else. Because I said this was the quiet. We were under the dining room, etc. The front had to have a slight overhang so people came in the rain and they could stand against the door and not get wet.
We should have had a cover for one there. That was a big mistake.
Originally, the garage was going to be connected, but we found out it was better to have a breezeway so we could walk to the back. We wanted to have a patio on the upper and the lower ends, and the house wanted to be all brick. We paid for it out front and some of the other. And we originally intended that we might eventually have a swimming pool back there. That's why that lower end is there, which we never found. It was cheaper to belong to Wood Home Country Club, let them clean the pool.
You're not kidding.
I can't think of anything that special we had other than those requirements.
Okay, can't remember.
And what about the actual building? How long did it take?
Oh, it was very fast.
Yeah.
He broke ground on February 28th, 1970. And we were in here on August 28th.
August 27th or 28th.
And one of the things that helped was there was a strike of the bricklayers and some of the other artisans in Baltimore City, but not in Baltimore County. So he was able to hire some of these non-union guys to work on the house, and that's why it got done so fast.
Can I say what Elwood said when we told him what we wanted in our house?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're asking about a $75,000 house.
Yeah, you can say, well, if you don't mind saying, how much did the house and the lot cost?
Well, when we
for
went, can I
perspective?
tell what he said? You're asking about a $75,000
Yeah,
house.
go
Well, you
ahead.
just
When
said-
we went to Elwood Sinsky, and we
The
were
builder.
talking,
He's the builder.
and we were talking about what we wanted. We didn't, talk about all the extras or what. He said, "You're talking about a $75,000 house." Like, my God.
Right. And so the house, is that what you paid for it, $75,000?
Well, with all the
They-
extras, 100,000.
Yeah, the extras was
And does
100,000.
that include the land? Or the land?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the land was a whole $10,000.
So the whole thing, and how much land is the house on?
An acre and a quarter.
One of the 10th acre, something like
One
that.
of
So
the-
one and
one
10th
of
acre, a two-story colonial house for $110,000.
Well, no, the 10,000 was included.
Oh,
100,000.
Right.
That was with the carpet, the drapes.
Yeah, and this kitchen, this whole kitchen,
And the kitchen.
was $7,500.
Yeah, they
Oh, my
allowed
God.
us. They allowed us $7,500 for the kitchen, and we're thinking, oh my God, the cabinets are mahogany. All the appliances were top of the line. $7,500.
Also, one thing about the garage, I made the garage oversized. It's wider than normal
And deeper.
than normal for all the bikes and all the tools.
And my
everything.
driving.
And you mentioned the neighborhoods where you lived. How did you choose the neighborhoods? Why did you choose a particular neighborhood?
I saw the general direction of and also the convenience to the Beltway and I-83, the Jones Falls Expressway. I said, This is a natural. I mean, it's unbelievable. The bus running right to the front door.
Um, Describe some of the times you can remember with your children on Lightfoot Drive, like the blizzard, backyard carnivals, birthday parties, things like that. Just some things off the top of your head that you can recall.
Oh, I just remember that we had so much fun there. There was always something going on because of the neighborhood. You know, all the children played in our driveway, and birthday parties were, you know, birthday cake and ice cream at home, and some games. Like not all the big fancy things that they have nowadays, but they were fun. And all the neighbors would come and your school friends. And I remember Ronnie, one of Susan's birthdays, I think it was. You were taking off all the decoration on her cake. It was like, I don't know if it was a space cake or what it was she wanted. And there's little Ronnie crawling up and taking all the decorations and a bite out of the cake. And Susan was trying not to cry. Anyway, we had a lot of fun. And riding bicycles in the driveway, and you riding your little red car down that driveway, and 3, 4 years old, and making that turn, that my heart was in my stomach every time you missed the street button. and I just remember what was all before Robin was born. So we used to say, my God, there'd be like 50 kids, we think, in the driveway with their bikes,
Yeah.
all visiting the Schulmans.
What about any particular neighbors that stand out?
Well, the
Sure.
Penns live next door.
And the Commonwealth is on the other side.
And Paul and the Comowitz
Was right next door on the other
next
side.
door on the other side. And we sort of looked after Paul because when he was 9 years old, his mother died. And of course, he had his 2 sisters, 16 and 14, I guess. But he was at our house a lot. Daddy and I kind of looked after him. And
Lois up the street.
oh, let's not talk about her.
Okay.
And what else? Oh, we had fun in the
Warrens, the
basement.
Elkins.
The Elkins, we weren't that close. But the basement, we had 2 fireplaces, basement and upstairs. We'd always have Hanukkah and Christmas, the downstairs fireplace with all the presents, and had such a good time. It was just fun.
All right, getting back to your childhoods,
Oh,
what would you say is your best memory from your childhood? Maybe one best thing that you look back on. You want me to come back to that?
best memory of my childhood.
Or how about an earliest memory from your childhood?
A good memory. A good memory was the summers on the front porches of the row houses. Everybody playing and collecting movie stars, and then we would beat up the boy up the street to get his comic books.
And what do you mean collecting movie stars? What is that?
Oh my God! It was the biggest thing in the world. Movie star picture collections.
Okay. Like
I
out of
mean,
magazines and newspapers?
Yeah. I mean, you had to get. I wasn't allowed really to buy movie star magazines, but you were. You got your pictures. You found old magazines around, or you cut the pictures out. And I had the best collection. And Ronald Reagan was my favorite movie star actually for 1 year, and we all traded movie star pictures, and we sent away for their pictures and autographs. We had the best time in that neighborhood. Then we would play army spies, and we'd go around spy on all the people in their houses and look in their garages, and just had a good time. Waited for the Good Humor Man so we could have a popsicle, because you couldn't get a
Good
more
humor.
expensive Good Humor except on a special occasion. And then we would all sit on the curb in the summer and eat out of the Kool-Aid packages, eat the dry Kool-Aid. And we were so proud of ourselves.
Those are great memories. How about you, Dad? Anything that you can think
I
of?
think
that you haven't talked about?
life was a lot simpler in those days. You know, you had a lot of kids in the neighborhood. There was always something going on outside. Went to school. We'd come home for lunch. We had a walk. It was a 15-minute walk to school, from school to home, and then back again. So got a lot of exercise that way.
Yeah.
No matter what the weather was. We had the simple requirements, nothing fancy. and just grew up.
Okay. Now, I know you were both angels growing up, but name something you did get punished for, something you did, and your parents found out, and you got punished.
You go first. I don't know.
I think
I was always
between her
punished.
mother, who was domineering, and my father, who was domineering,
Take out the
you didn't do
strap.
anything wrong.
So you can't remember anything.
I did. I would rebel sometimes, and I wouldn't, listen, or I'd sneak a book out, like a dirty book, and underline all the dirty passages, and call all the kids in the neighborhood would come on the front porch, and we'd go over all the dirty parts of the book.
So where did you get this book from?
Old bookstore.
Oh.
I found it. And my mother, when she got angry at us, she'd go in my closet and take out the wide leather belts that we wore in those days, and she'd swing it at me, and a couple times hit me with them. It hurt, but she didn't do it too often. And then she tried to make my father do it. Come on, hon, hit her, but he wouldn't do it.
But no, nothing you can think, no particular
Particular thing I
thing
did,
that you did that. That's it.
I can't remember,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay.
If I remember, I'll bring it up.
All right, can you name anything that you did that you should have been punished for, but your parents never found out about
Got
it?
away with it?
Or they never found out?
I don't remember.
Okay. Boy, you guys were. Okay, that's fine.
I can remember it's just a bit of a change of subject, but my mother, of course, I think I told you, was very musically talented. She was an excellent piano player, and there was always music in the house. There was always people coming over to sing and so forth. She was always invited to a lot of places socially because she would play the piano. So I thought everybody's mother played the piano. It looked very simple, but we all started instruments and so forth. And I found out when you want to play the piano, you got to practice, and that's ended my career.
Yeah, I took piano lessons.
Yeah.
And Miss Alkenball would come once a week for $1 and stay at the house for an hour and try her best to teach me to play well. I never could get the timing right or the touch, but at least I can sit down and play to, entertain myself.
Right.
So it was nice to do that.
Right.
And I first learned to play in school, actually. Took lessons in school, after school. And then I got Miss Alkenball for $1 a week. And it was great. It was really nice. But I was a rebel.
In what way?
Well, I didn't agree with a lot of things. And
He still doesn't.
well, that's okay. Okay, never mind. I can't think of anything.